In this video, we will be discussing different points related to GRN and invoice details in ME23 and transaction of SAP. Few months ago, we made a very detailed video how to use ME23N and how to check all the details regarding a purchase order and how to check the invoice details, GRN details, and other things. So after that video, we received some of your questions and we will try in this video to answer all of those questions. Plus, we will be discussing some other frequently asked questions as well and some other basic queries relating to ME23N. So please look at this video in detail. So in the start, the objective of this session is to show how to find GRN and invoice for any PO. And then we will be answering some more common questions and we will be sharing some reporting and troubleshooting tips if you are facing any problems in these reports. And so this is the basic purpose of this video. So just a quick recap. Like previously, what we used to do is we use the transaction ME23N. When that transaction appeared, then it will open some previously opened window having a purchase order, or it will give you a list where you can enter the details like the purchase order, purchase acquisition number, material code, date, procurement group, purchasing group, etc. So all these things will be available in those tabs, so you can enter your required data whatever you have available, like maybe it's material code, maybe you have the delivery dates, or you have purchasing groups or material groups, etc. So you can enter all the detail that you have, and then it will display a complete set of purchase orders that are created previously or in current days for that particular material code. So if you have selected the closed POs, those will not be visible, and if you have unchecked that, then all the POs historically that are created through that material code will be displayed there. So this is the quick recap how ME23N will be displayed. So when you will enter that, for example, this is a specific window when you will enter, open some specific purchase order. For example, this purchase order 4500231062 is opened, and you can see it's there are two material codes here. The quantity is written 1.35 million for first one and 4.32 million for second, and then we have delivery dates, net prices, etc., currency. And going down, you can see the details of purchase order history, where invoice receipt and goods received are also done for this PO into 2021, and the details are visible. So in this way, you can see the status of that PO, the purchase order history, and all the relevant details related to that purchase order. So there was first question that was, GRN exists but there is no invoice. So in this case, what you have to do is your GRN is done but your invoice is missing. But how you will be able to check it? You have to go back to PO history tab, purchase order history tab. If there is any good received visible, that means that its GRN is done from the relevant user side. And if there is no any document, IR document or accounting document that is attached, that means that invoice is not received yet and its invoicing is not done. There are two other transactions we can use specifically for this purpose. The number one is MIR4, that is used to check the invoices, and the second one is MRBR. So in this transaction, you can also check the blocked invoices and these types of things. So in this way, using these two transactions, you can check in detail the invoice status. So next, let's move forward. So let's understand one thing: GR versus IR. GR is goods receipt. When anything is physically received in the movement code 101, it is called goods receipt, with the physical receiving of goods. And the other one is IR, invoice receipt, when vendor does the billing, when he or she sends the bill of that particular product, then that bill and that quantity amount is posted financially in the system. That is called IR, and both appear separately in PO history. In the first slide, you can see that in purchase order history in ME23N, we can see the purchase order history of GR and IR. So number second is fully delivered invoiced status. How to check the fully delivered invoice status? So in this way, there is a status tab where you have summary only. You can see when you will check the status, it will show that what is the status of that PO? Is it completely delivered or not? You can check the complete detailed list via these transactions ME2N. You can enter the particular PO number and all the details of that PO will be visible in the window, that when its PR was created, when its PO was created, when GRN was done, when IR was received, and etc. Similarly, you can use ME2L. Through this, you can the made the search through the vendor. If you know the vendor code, you can just enter the vendor code and all the purchase orders that are created for that vendor code will be displayed. And the third one is ME2N. If you have the material number, for example any material code for which you can want to select the you want to check the material codes and material purchase orders, you can use this transaction. So these three are very useful transactions and you have to use these three as well. Or you can use dynamic selection filters for the customized data that you want to see from the list. The third issue is value mismatch issue. Sometimes the value is not matching. So actually, the ME23N is a real-time snapshot, and this report is based on a scope of list, the particular scope of list that we have selected. So for this, what is the solution for this scenario? You can use the scope of list through ALV or WE101, and you should check your PO history tab for these things. When you will select the correct scope of list through ALV, then you will be able to check the PO history tab and the data will be matched. There will be no value mismatch issue. And then another thing, the best table for accurate data, you can use EKBE table, that is GRIR history for PO. And for the fields, you have to enter the movement type. For example, you can enter 101 for GR, then you can enter the quantity of that purchase order, then you can enter the value. And this is more reliable sorry, this is more reliable than ME2N or ME23N. So this table can also be used for the accurate data of GRIR history. Okay, so moving forward, we have a practical example. The first step is you have to display PO in ME23N. The second is you have to go to PO history tab that we have seen in the first slide. If you say, we can just quickly go back to this slide, you can see the purchase order history tab here on the bottom side. You have to open this tab. You have to open PO history tab. Then step 3, you have to note the GR document and you have to check if any IR exists. So this is the step 3. And step 4, if there is any mismatch between these two, you can run ME2N or EKBE depending upon the SAP module you are using. You can run these transactions to exactly identify the details of goods receipt and invoice receipt. And there are some other very useful transactions that I have listed down here for you only, that you can use. ME23N to display POs, ME2N for the report of multiple POs, MIR4 to display different types of invoices, MRBR to display blocked invoices, and SE16N or EKBE for GRIR history. So you can use any of these transactions. All of these transactions are very useful and you should use these in your daily SAP work. So this will be very helpful for all of you. There are some other very frequently asked questions that I want to address. Number one is how to see all GRN/invoices linked. So you have to go to PO history tab. You have to open POs without invoices and you have to put filter ME2N. So then the next step is accounting in the number one was how to see all GRN invoices linked. You have to use PO history tabs. The second question is how to open POs without invoices. So you have to put the filter in ME2N. The third one is account. What is the accounting in entry for invoice? So you have to use MIR4 transaction specifically for accounting inventory, or sorry, accounting entry of different invoices. There are some common mistakes. You should not confuse GR with IR. There will be situations when goods receipt will be done, but there will be no IR. There will be no invoice receipt in the system. They're ignoring blocked invoices MRBR. You should not ignore the invoices that are blocked in MRBR. You should always check for that wrong scope of list in ME2N. If your scope of list is not correctly selected as ALV, then your data that will be visible will not be correct. So you have to enter ALV all the time before running the transaction. And the last one is relying only on status tab. You should not only rely on status tab. You should check other transactions as well to correctly identify GR and IR. So there are some tips that I have written here for your daily use. always check PO history tab first. Then for reporting, use ME2N or ME2L or ME2M. These are perfectly fine transactions and they give completely 100% accurate data. For troubleshooting, you have to use EKBE or EKPO tables if they are applicable in your SAP module. These are very good tables and give you a complete summary of your purchase orders and invoices, GRs, etc. And combine these tables with Excel for a complete analysis. If you transport that data in Excel, it will be very helpful. To export the data from SAP to Excel, I have made another video. You can check in our playlist. That will give you step-by-step instructions how to export the data from SAP to Excel. So, in summary, I have tried to answer your frequently asked questions, how to check the PO statuses, IR, GR, other transactions. If data is not matching, then you have to check the other transactions. So please, for any further questions, just write in the comments and I will try to answer all of your questions. And please subscribe to our channel, like this video, share this video, and please write in the comments if you have any other topic that you want me to cover. So until next time, take care. Bye bye.